Hello lovely people and welcome back to my channel. I have a very special Project 5 Wears video for you today. This is the first time that I'm going to be collabing with one of my dearest friends here on YouTube, Maitreyi from Raw Paint blog. If you don't know who she is and you haven't followed her channel, please just pause and go follow her like right now. I really enjoy Maitreyi's content and I really think you're going to enjoy it too. She's probably one of the most wonderful people that I have met on YouTube in terms of how incredibly respectful, eloquent, well-spoken, and like so knowledgeable and so thoughtful about various topics she is. Her channel is definitely not only focused on talking about makeup, she definitely addresses also like more socially relevant topics. Like one of the most recent videos that I really enjoyed from her was a video about goop, which I really enjoyed, and I'm really happy that people like her exist to make these types of videos, because she can make a video like this. And how should I explain this to you so that you understand what I mean? Okay, let's say you have the following situation. You put myself, Maitreyi, and anti-vaxxer in the same room. And you can tell me in advance that I need to keep it together and, you know, try to be respectful towards the anti-vaxxer, because they're a human being too. And you can bet your ass that within 5 seconds of meeting the anti-vaxxer, I will have lost my shit and gone ballistic on them, because I can't keep my cool. I just can't. I get really irritated when I think something is stupid, and I immediately become very aggressive, very condescending. I mock them, I become very sarcastic. You know, it's not the way to go. Whereas I think Maitreyi would be someone who would like keep her cool, and she would try to convey the absolute same viewpoint as I would, but in a much more thoughtful, respectful, quiet and calm way. And you know what? We need more people like her, because if we're ever going to convince anti-vaxxers that they have the wrong viewpoint, it's not going to be with my approach. It's going to be through the more respectful and thoughtful approach that she would take in those same circumstances. Which is why I'm telling you, we need more people like her, and that is why I really admire her. One thing you can definitely expect from our videos is that you're going to see very different makeup styles. You know my makeup style, I'm all about, you know, colors and bright and that kind of thing, whereas she has a very like subdued, much more professional style when it comes to, not professional, like a female professional, because she's like a, I mean, she's a professional grown-ass woman, so she also does her makeup that way, and it really reflects in it really reflects how different our work environments are. Like I can go to the lab and I can literally wear anything, nobody would give a shit. Of course, if I went to a congress or something, I would have to like keep it a bit more subdued, but on my day-to-day life, nobody gives a shit how I look like. Whereas I feel like she works in a very different environment, so she does have to keep it a little bit more like office-friendly and professional. I was incredibly happy when she approached me to do this Project 5 Wears video for you, and it is double special because I'm doing it together with her, and we are also going to do something a little bit different. What you're used to seeing with the Project 5 Wears videos is normally, you know, focus on the eyes, but this time we're actually going to be shifting away from the eyes and focusing on the lips. This Project 5 Wears is going to be all about red lipstick. Now, I don't know about you, but to me red lipstick is not just red lipstick. Red lipstick is one of the makeup products that I feel the most myself in. And to me, red lipsticks is its femininity, it's being a femme fatale, being confident. It's about having power, honestly. I think red lipstick gives you power, because it gives you that kind of self-confidence and self-assuredness that you need sometimes to, you know, waltz out into the world and convince people of who you are and what you believe in. So I think it's best for me to stop rambling now and just leave you to enjoy the 5 looks and the 5 different lipsticks that I chose for this Project 5 Wears. This feels really counterintuitive, because normally when I do these kind of videos I always start with the eyeshadow, because these kind of videos are always centered around eyeshadow. But since this video is much more centered around the lipstick, I'm going to start with the lipstick. This is one of my favorite red lipsticks. I could not put it in this video, because it's definitely among the lipsticks that I like to wear the most often and that I feel so much joy every time I put it on. Those of you who are more familiar with my channel are probably immediately going to recognize this lipstick, because I have talked about it on so many different occasions, and especially lately with all the different ranking videos I've done for lipsticks. But this is the Blitz Trance lipstick in the shade Blood Rush from McGrath Labs. It is one of her metallized sort of finishes, but it's the kind of finish that doesn't have gritty glitter in it. It has this beautifully infused shimmer into it, and it just looks really flattering on the lips. This is definitely one of my favorite reds in my collection. It has a more metallic finish to it, but it's a very subtle, very classy, very wearable metallic finish. It's not the type of metallic finish that will just make your lips look really shiny. It's the type of metallic finish that will just give you like that little sheen, that little like hint of metallicness to it, and I love it. Let me tell you what I did for the eyeshadow and show you the two items that I consider to be my spring summer essentials in terms of eyeshadow. These are the Nabla So Blooming palette and the single from Pat McGrath in the shade Pale Fire. Now, Pale Fire you can also find in her La Vie en Rose palette, and I actually have both. I have the single and the La Vie en Rose palette, and I just love this eyeshadow so much. I'm not really sure whether you're going to be able to see what a huge dip I already have in the single, and mind you, I use the single and the one in the eyeshadow palette. I just love this eyeshadow so much. It is such a beautiful... Let me swatch it for you. It's the shadow that I have on my lid, but it's just the most gorgeous peachy, pinky, orange shade. It doesn't have glitter in it, it's just a straight up metallic, but it's so beautiful and it just looks so nice on the lids because it gives you that little hint of duochrome, but just like playful and without really being too much, and it's perfect for those of you especially who want to be a little bit more subtle with your makeup, or who prefer to wear something more interesting but you want to keep it subtle. But I feel like I'm going off on too many tangents. Let me just tell you what I did for this eye look. Like I mentioned, I have the shade Pale Fire all over my lid. Just FYI, I do like to foil this eyeshadow by spritzing my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus. You don't have to, you can always just apply it dry or with your finger and it will look just as beautiful. I just like that extra sheen and that extra glassy effect that you get from Fix Plus. For the rest of the eyeshadows, like I mentioned, I used my So Blooming palette from Nabla, which is, I think, the epitome of spring colors in terms of an eyeshadow palette. I started off the look with this peachy matte. I put that through my crease and outer corner. I used this gorgeous topper white gold copper into my inner corners, and I applied a little bit of this gorgeous reddish brown shade under my on my lower lash line. In my waterline I also have a little bit of like a copper pencil, and this is one of my Kiko dual eyeshadow sticks. It comes from an old summer collection. I don't really think you can find it, but really any copper pencil will do. I made a couple of videos recently talking about lipsticks, and each and every time I regretted that this lipstick just didn't quite make the cut. I always wanted to include it, but there were just other lipsticks that I would rather have chosen in those particular selections, and this lipstick just never quite made the cut. Nonetheless, I love this lipstick. This is the most beautiful orangey red in a beautiful comfort matte formula, and as you're going to find out, it is also one of my oldest lipsticks and one of my oldest Urban Decay loves. And you can tell how old it is just by the fact that this is the old Revolution lipstick like packaging from Urban Decay. This is the shade Temper. There is just something about a good fiery like orange toned red that just makes my little makeup heart spark with joy. Now on my eyes I paired this lipstick with my Paleo palette, which I haven't really used in a really long time. This is definitely a palette that I tend to neglect, and as you're going to see in a few seconds, it has been through a lot. So a couple of months ago, actually on camera, this shade over here just basically fell apart, just fell into my hands, and about a month ago Nicola managed to get his grabby hands on it and smashed it on the floor, and all the eyeshadows were just outside of the palette, and for a second there my heart literally like stopped and then was resurrected when I saw that all the eyeshadows are still intact. So I just popped them back into the eyeshadow palette, and I informed my son that if he ever touches my makeup again, I'm going to sell him on eBay without a second thought. Anyway, so the look I went for today is a bit more of like an iteration of what I had the previous time. So the previous time I had this like very springy like coral orangey look, and today I went for something springy and more like yellow orange tone because it's still beautiful weather outside and I'm just feeling these colors, okay? So what I did is I put this shade all over my lid and through my crease, then I spritzed my brush and I applied this shade. I don't know whether you can see, it's a beautiful yellow orange with a little bit of a green shift to it. The green shift is quite subtle, I have to be honest, but in this particular context I actually don't mind because I do feel like I would prefer this shade to stay a bit more like yellow-orange rather than shift green too much. So for this particular look, I'm grateful that the orange shift is a bit more subtle. Then on my lower lash line and a little bit also as a liner on my upper lash line, I have this beautiful like brownish shade over here. And in my inner corner I have this gorgeous duochrome shade. And that's pretty much all that's going on my eyes. And of course, when you're wearing fire on your eyes, it only makes sense to wear fire on your lips, which is why I went for Temper today. So today's dose of red lipstick is served to you by MAC Cosmetics. This is a very special lipstick for me. I don't think you can find this lipstick anymore, or if you can, it's probably going to be completely by chance because it was a Viva Glam, I want to say 2 years ago. This is the MAC Viva Glam in collaboration with Sia, whose signature you can see here on the lipstick. It comes in this beautiful, like shiny version of the standard MAC lipstick packaging. This lipstick has a matte formula and somewhat warmer undertones to it. And the reason I love this lipstick so much is because I associate it with Sia. I really respect Sia as a person and as an artist. I love her music and I think she's such a badass, and when I wear this lipstick it makes me feel like a badass because I think, Sia would wear this lipstick color and she's a true woman badass, so if I wear it, so can I. So this is definitely one of those lipsticks that gives me the feels and gives me that powerful feeling of if I wear this lipstick I get more self-confident. So this is definitely a lipstick that has more emotional value to me rather than something special about the color itself. It's a beautiful shade of red, but there's nothing particularly special about it. It's just that I love the artist behind it and it just gives me all the feels, and that's why I love this lipstick so much. Now, just quickly to tell you what I did on my eyes. If you want to see the longer version of it, I am going to leave the video in which I created the look up here for you to check it out, but the short version of it is I used my Bronze Temptation palette. This is a holiday release she had 2 years ago, and I basically dipped into this palette for the two matte brown shades over here, which I put through my crease and in my deep outer corner area. And then the star of this look is basically an eyeshadow that I recently picked up. This is the shade Rose Venus, which comes in her Single Idols collection. It is a beautiful rose gold shade. It's basically the shade that you see all over my lid. And just in my inner corners I have one of the shades from her highlighter trio. I have the gold shade here in the middle, just in my inner corner as an inner corner highlight. So the look is quite simple, but that's pretty much how I like to wear my red lipsticks, mostly with more simple neutral looks. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the eyeshadow, but really the focus was on the lipstick itself. Look number 4 is all about this lipstick. I've been thinking about wearing this lipstick for about a week now, and I thought, what a better way to share it with you than on this glorious late spring day. It's beautiful outside. So this is the shade 69 from Urban Decay. It's one of their cream lipsticks. I know, Urban Decay and their puns. This lipstick is gorgeous. It is a beautiful, very pink toned red. It's very bright, it's very summery, it's very fresh, it's very happy. It's one of those lipsticks that makes you feel shiny and new even when you don't feel shiny and new. It's just, it's a feel good. I want to be out and about with my girlfriends, getting brunch in the city, shopping, all the things we can't do right now. It's that kind of lipstick. It's a mood lipstick. I really love this lipstick, especially in the summer. This lipstick is definitely the ones that I reach for the most, especially in the summer months when I want something really fresh and I'm barely wearing anything else on my face or on my eyes. Don't get me wrong, you can definitely wear 69 with like a heavy look if that's what you prefer. Sometimes I do that as well, but for whatever reason I really prefer to wear this lipstick like with a very fresh face. Now the eye look is a very take it or leave it kind of thing. You can easily skip the whole eyeshadow thing and just put on, you know, copious amounts of mascara to your face, because I feel like you really need to have your face and like your bronzer, your highlighter for this lipstick to brighten you up even more. I mean, you can wear it just on its own without anything else, but I feel like those little extra touches make it just a tiny bit better. Now, I haven't had the chance to wear much eyeshadow lately, which is why I chose to do something on my eyes anyway, but I did something really simple, you guys. I am wearing exactly one eyeshadow on my eyes, and it's a very sparkly one. I don't know whether you can see it. It's beautiful. I didn't even bother like blending it or anything. I just put it all over my lid and call it a day. I'm wearing this topper shade from the Iconic Illumination Quad from the Opulence collection from 2019 from McGrath. It is possibly one of my favorite topper shades from her. It is gorgeous. It's one of those really like flaky, really reflective, really glittery shades. I personally really love that formula from Pat McGrath. I know not everyone is crazy about it. I personally adore it. And I adore the tone of this particular eyeshadow because it has a little bit of like that champagne tone and it looks really flattering on the eye. In the inner corner, I just used what I have on my face as a highlighter, and that is pretty much all for this look. Like I said, the eyeballs are like a leave it or take it kind of situation depending on your time availability and how you're feeling and all of that, but you can easily skip most of the rest of this face and just focus on this beautiful, gorgeous lipstick, 69 from Urban Decay. I have been throwing some really bright red at you all this time, so you probably think that that's the only type of red I wear. It's not. I do enjoy like more subdued classic reds, and that is why I wanted to feature this lipstick. It is a cult favorite from Urban Decay. This is the shade Bad Blood, which comes in their Comfort Matte formula, and it is a gorgeous, like deeper, warmer toned red, and I feel like this lipstick is such a classic. It would look spectacular on pretty much everyone. I cannot imagine anyone on whom this lipstick wouldn't look absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my favorites in my collection. I absolutely love it. I tend to gravitate towards it more in like the fall and winter months because I feel like it's like this like warmer tone of red that really fits with a beautiful like fall type of eye look. But that being said, you can wear it any time of the year and it still looks stunning. On my eyes, I decided to pair it with like a statement blue eyeliner, and for that I used actually an eyeshadow. Let me tell you really quickly what I did. So I did do a little bit of like crease work. I did very quickly back into the Pat McGrath Bronze Temptation palette because I just wanted to use this brown shade over here and this really boring champagne shade over here. That is what you see on my lids, just through my crease, and like a very, very light layer of that champagne shade on my lid, just so I have something and it's not bare lids. And as a liner, I once again applied a Pat McGrath eyeshadow. This is the shade Lapis Luxury, which I just used a little like liner brush to apply with. I did spritz my brush just a little bit towards the wing part to make it a little bit easier to apply, but honestly you can easily use this eyeshadow dry and it will look just as spectacular. Towards the center of the eyeliner I applied a tiny bit of glitter, and for that I used the shade Spandex from Urban Decay. It's one of their heavy metal glitter liners. I love these things. I've had mine for over 3 years. None of them has dried out. They still look absolutely beautiful, and they are literally my favorite like glitter liner type of formula. These are literally the only thing I could wholeheartedly recommend as a glitter liner because they are just such fantastic quality. One of Urban Decay's best products. Anyway, that's pretty much all that's going on my eyes. I decided to keep it a little bit subtle with like a little pop of blue as eyeliner, but just once again focus a little bit more on the lips. It was extremely hard for me to choose only 5 red lipsticks from my collection to showcase for you because I love wearing red lipstick and I have at least 3 times more red lipsticks than the one that you just saw. But choices needed to be made, and I didn't really go about it as picking out my favorite reds. I went more about it as what do I feel like today. So this is by no means my top 5 red lipsticks. It's just 5 of the red lipsticks in my collection that I really enjoy wearing. I did actually go ahead and very quickly swatch all the 5 lipsticks that we used for this Project 5 wears on my hand. So in order of appearance, I believe we have Pat McGrath Blood Rush, Urban Decay Temper, Viva Glam Sia by MAC, Urban Decay 69, and Urban Decay Bad Blood. I think this way you can definitely see the different undertones of the lipsticks. Now, something that you probably have noticed is that 3 out of the 5 lipsticks are actually Urban Decay ones. That is because I have an overwhelming amount of Urban Decay lipsticks in my lipstick collection. They happen to be making my favorite formula when it comes to lipsticks. Anywho, I'm going to wrap this video up, you guys. I don't want it to turn out too long. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to check out Maitreyi's video. I am super curious what kind of lipsticks and what kind of looks she chose to do, and I can guarantee they will be very different from mine. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!